Whenever you're ready to start our class today, we're going to start laying down. So find your way to your yoga mat. If you want an extra pillow or cushioning under your head, go ahead and grab that on your way. You could keep your knees bent here with your feet out near the edges of your mat and then your knees resting together at the center. This can be a good option if you feel that you have kind of a tight back, or maybe any other reason, really. It's a good option to try. It's called constructive rest pose. If you prefer, you could outstretch your arms and legs, Shavasana pose. And go ahead and just settle in. Just being present with these, especially these first few moments, transitioning into our yoga practice, transitioning away from the day you've had so far and into this more mindful and restful and aware place where you're in charge. You get to make all the decisions. There's nothing you have to do in our class today, so you're more than welcome to linger, add on or subtract different parts according to your preferences. So I invite you to consider setting an intention today around something around following your inner voice or being your own captain of the ship. Maybe there's another way you could phrase it that feels more personal to you. And deepening your breath if that feels good. Drawing the air down to the lowest parts of the lungs. Feels like we're breathing into the belly, but of course, it's the diaphragm muscle there at the bottom of the lungs, pressing and expanding. And with your exhale, softening everything, letting go of any little bits of tension that you can sense. Letting go of tension in your jaw or any clenching or holding. Letting your shoulders be heavy and relaxed. No need to hold yourself up or use muscle effort here. Just taking a few more moments in stillness. Let's take 3 clearing breaths together. That's a sighing breath. We'll breathe in through the nose. Big sigh out of your mouth. 2 more like that, in through the nose. Starting to wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe let your head rock from side to side. Maybe circling your ankles and wrists a little bit. Heading into a long body stretch, maybe a yawn here. Reaching your fingers and toes in opposite directions. Try to keep this length as we find our way to banana pose. Walk your heels over toward the right side of your mat. Grab hold of your left arm or wrist and gently pull your upper body toward the right. So you're creating a side bend, banana-like shape. Stretching through that left side. Take a few breaths, see if you can create the sensation that you're breathing more into that left lung. And when you're ready, switching sides, walking your heels over toward the left edge of your mat, grabbing hold of the right wrist or arm, and gently bending to that left side, thinking about breathing into that right lung, stretching out your right side. And then come on back to the center. If you have any props beneath you, we'll move those to the side for now. Bending your knees, stand your feet up on the mat. We'll get ready for some bridge pose here, but let's do our robot arms today. So the elbows are bent and we'll keep the hands just kind of lifted up in the air. This helps us pay attention to the connection of the upper arms and the shoulders connecting to the floor here. Pick up all of your toes, spread your toes out, spread your fingers out, just give your hands and your feet a little stretch. And then set your feet back down. With an inhale, press down through your arms, press down through your feet, lift up the pelvis, reaching your hip points high. And then exhale, lower down. Try to use your entire exhale to get to the bottom. So we're in no rush here. We're inhaling as we rise. And exhale as we lower. Do that a couple more times. Inhale as we rise. And exhale, lower. This next round, we're going to stay lifted. So go ahead, rise up. Tuck your chin just a little bit more toward your chest, lengthening the back of your neck. Inhale, lift up your heels, come up to your tippy toes. Exhale, lower your heels. Inhale, balancing up on your heels, pick up your toes. And exhale, lower your feet, lower your body. All right, pull your knees in toward your chest. We'll take a little bit of free movement here, maybe circling your knees, maybe rocking a little bit up and down or side to side. Massaging out your low back. All right. Next, we will lift and straighten or almost straighten the legs. You can always keep your knees bent here or do a little combo of both. All of the limbs now reaching up toward the sky. Just notice how much effort this already is. Our core muscles are working. We'll do a little bilateral movement here. Inhale, and we'll be at the center. And exhale, lower your right arm and your left leg in opposite directions. Inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, right leg and left arm lower. Inhale to the center. Let's keep going. Exhale, right arm, left leg. Inhale, center. Exhale, left arm, right leg. Inhale, center. Exhale, lower everything down. Take a moment. Toe heel your feet out a little wider and let your knees sway side to side. One of the 8 limbs of yoga is brahmacharya, which sometimes can be defined in different ways, but essentially, from my understanding, it's like right use of energy or like intentional use of energy. So those moments where we're using a lot of effort, we can focus and use that effort, but for those moments where we don't need the effort, let's not overdo it. Just finding that right use Balanced use. Okay. Press on over to either side and then come on up to a seat. If it feels comfortable, you could cross your legs here or let your legs go out in front of you. Maybe even sitting up on a bolster or something if you'd like. Let's tent the fingertips down on either side, sitting up nice and tall. Feel the lengthening upwards through the crown of your head. With an inhale, let's reach the arms around and up. Take your sweet time. Eventually, maybe your palms join overhead. Option to look up at your hands as they join. And exhale, lowering your hands down to heart center, tucking your chin at the bottom. Inhale, send the hands high. Your gaze might follow. And exhale, sweep your arms around and down, back to the floor. Let's do that again. Inhale, rising up. Exhale down to heart center, tucking your chin. Inhale, right back up. And exhale down and around. Go ahead and do that a couple more times at your own pace. If you feel like adding a little something on, please feel free. We'll do just about one more full round, but take your time. Let's meet up with the arms up in the air. And then we'll take a twist to the right. So the left hand will come to the right knee. Bring that right hand back behind you and help yourself sit up nice and tall here. Before we twist too much farther, just sit up nice and tall, aligning your spine. So we're not leaning. We don't want to lean. We want to stay nice and tall here. So inhale. With your exhale, gently twisting toward the right, gazing toward the right. Inhale, unwind just enough. We'll stay on the right side here, just enough for a full breath in. And exhale, twist. Let's do that again. Inhale, unwind for your full breath in. And exhale, twist. Let's stay in this twisted position here. With your inhale, reach that right arm high. Exhale, bending to the left. Kind of creating like a rainbow shape with your right arm. Inhale, rising back up. And exhale, side bend left. One more time, inhale, rise up. And exhale into your side bend. Ooh, I'm getting just the best stretch through my left shoulder here. Feel free to stay for a moment or two. Oh, it feels so heavenly today. Eventually, we'll switch sides. So the right hand coming around to the left knee. Use your left hand to help you sit up nice and tall. Taking a breath in. And exhale, twist toward the left. Inhale, unwind for your full breath in. And exhale, twist. One last time, inhale. And exhale, twist. Let's keep this twist more or less. Lift that left arm high. Take an inhale as you fill up. And exhale, side bending toward the right. Inhale, rising up. You can always stay instead of continuing to move if you want. Exhale, bend. 2 or so more breaths here, either moving or just kind of hanging out. And go ahead and lower your arms down. Give the shoulders a little shake. And then we'll move along to hands and knees for cat and cow. So spreading your fingertips out, gripping with your fingertips. With your inhale, let's find cow pose, lowering the belly, lifting the gaze, lifting the tailbone. And exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone, cat pose. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Keep going for a couple more rounds if you'd like. And then we'll eventually meet up in extended child's pose, bringing your knees out wide toward the edges of your mat, big toes touching behind you, slowly sinking your seat toward your heels. And then maybe lowering your head and heart toward the floor. You can always stay up here on your forearms too, depending on how your body wants to move. Be here for a couple nice big breaths. See if you can even savor the sensation of inhaling and exhaling. Go ahead and start to rise back up to tabletop. We're going to come onto our knees here. If you're on a hard surface or just like a little extra cushion, go ahead and bring something down underneath your knees. If you don't have a like blanket handy, you could fold your mat a couple of times for extra cushion. So let's go ahead and kneel here. It's your choice if the tops of your feet are flat to the ground or if you tuck your toes under behind you anytime. We'll find a little camel pose here. So first, let's bring our hands to the low back. If you can reach, let's press the hips forward. Before we think about back bending, let's just push the hips forward. For many people, just keeping the tailbone kind of tucked under, this could be enough today. Have a back bend. If it's already in your practice, maybe going a little farther if you'd like, puffing the chest up, leaning back. And just about 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Go ahead and tuck your chin toward your chest, sit back on your heels if that's comfortable. We'll flip the palms upward in our lap, hero pose. Just pausing to feel your energy flowing through your body, staying with your intention today. All right, when the timing is right, we'll find our way to our first downward facing dog. If you have blocks and you like to use them, we'll bring those up here at the top of the mat, planting your hands, gripping into those blocks or the floor. Let's curl the toes under and lift the tailbone high. Find your breath here first and foremost, and then if you like some movement, maybe pedaling out your legs, bending and straightening opposite knees. All right. Start to bend your knees and look up toward your hands. We'll walk or step our way to the top of the mat. Ragdoll, forward fold. You could have your hands on blocks if you want to. You could toe heel your feet out a little wider if that allows for more space for your body. And letting the upper body be kind of loose here, maybe swaying a little bit. Or maybe grabbing opposite elbows. I think it's always nice to like bend deep into the knees and straighten a couple of times. Let your head be loose, maybe nodding your head yes and shaking your head no a little bit. And go ahead and bend a little deeper into the knees, tuck your chin toward your chest, and then if you'd like, using the help of your hands, to rise on up. When you get to the top right away, just get a little shakeout going here. Whatever comes to you, maybe the arms, maybe you want to do a little bit of a jump or lifting and lowering of the heels, like getting that deep bounce through the tissues of your body. You're just kind of shaking everything loose, getting the circulation pumping. Whew. Sometimes clapping or kind of throwing the energy away. Whatever feels like the right move. I feel like kind of dusting things off energetically. Okay. We'll come on up to the top of the mat here. Take a look down at your feet. Have a nice, comfortable grip on the floor with your feet. Spin your palms to face the front of your space. Feeling a little bit of opening across the collarbones here. Shoulder blades gently hugging together behind you. Mountain pose, sturdy, solid, maybe even majestic. When you're ready, let's start to come up to the tippy toes. We're lifting the heels, rising up, kind of gripping through your legs, your feet, your heels, your calves, and then lower back down. If you want, we can link it up with the breath, inhaling as you rise up to the tippy toes, and exhale as you lower back down. Go ahead and do that a couple more times. Inhaling to rise, and exhaling to lower. Good, let's do it one more time. Maybe lifting your arms up this time if you want. And exhale, lower it on down. Shake out your feet if you'd like. Okay, I know chair pose is like sometimes people's enemy, but we're gonna play with chair pose. We're not gonna hold it for a long time. We're gonna play with it and see if we can kind of make it a little bit fun. So feet about hip width distance apart here, more or less. And then we'll bend the knees, kind of sitting back as if you were about to sit in a chair. You can keep your hands on your knees here at first. Sitting back. So we don't need to lean forward so much. We're more so getting the hips back. With an inhale, maybe sweeping your arms up and overhead. Exhale, airplane arms, leaning forward slightly. So that again, inhale, arms reaching high. And exhale, airplane pose. This time we're rising up to one-legged mountain pose with the right knee lifting. So go ahead and stand up. See if you can bring your right knee up with you. Maybe your toes stay on the floor. Maybe your right knee lifts up. Exhale, step just that right foot back. Lower that right foot down right away. Bend into your left knee. Sweep your arms up and overhead. Inhale. Exhale, arrow pose. Arms sweep back, head forward. Inhale, rising back up. Exhale, warrior two. Right heel spins down to the floor. Extending your arms in opposite directions here. Check in, make sure your shoulders are about over your hips. We're not reaching too far in either direction. Let's reset a couple of times. Inhale, flip your palms, straighten both legs, join your hands overhead. And exhale, warrior two, bending back into the left knee, gazing past your left hand. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. We'll lift that right arm high or left arm high. Right hand can just kind of rest on your leg or behind your back. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, bring your hands to your blocks. Spin on the ball of your right foot and lower your right knee down to the mat. Great time to have our blocks again here. We'll kind of sink the hips forward a little bit here, pressing. If you don't have blocks, maybe your hands coming up to that left knee. And we'll flow between this hip opener here through the right hip and a little hamstring stretch with our half splits, pulling the hips back, peeling your left toes up off of the floor. You can keep your left knee as bent as you need to here. Just starting to feel some stretching sensation on the back of your left leg. You can experiment with kind of folding your upper body forward a little bit or coming back up. Let's move between those two a couple of times. You might inhale as you step your left foot back to the floor, puffing up your chest, stretching that right hip. And exhale into your half splits, stretching the back of the left leg. Put your own pace. All right, let's plant the left foot, curl your right toes under, pick up your right knee, and then step your right foot to the top of your mat. Forward fold at the top. Inhale, sliding your hands up your legs to your thighs, halfway lift, nice straight spine. Exhale, fold with a deeper bend of your knees. Press your feet into the floor, rise all the way up, upward salute, joining your hands overhead. And exhale, bring your hands together at heart center. Take a few moments. How are things going on the inside? Pressing your thumbs into the center of your chest, your sternum. Checking in, see if you can feel your heartbeat, if that's pleasant to you. Just being reminded of all those signs of life in your body, energy, prana moving through you. Out with the old, in with the new with each breath. Kind of polishing up your energy. And then let's take a clearing breath in through the nose. And a big sigh to release. Inhale, let's reach both hands high. Exhale, chair pose. So we're sitting back. Inhale. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhale, chair pose, arms sweep high. Exhale, airplane. Inhale, bring your left knee up with you, one-legged mountain pose. Left knee lifts. Exhale, step just that left foot back. Inhale, reaching hands high, bending your right knee. Exhale, arrow pose, chest reaching forward, arms reaching back. Inhale, hands go high. Exhale, arrow. Inhale, arms high. And exhale, warrior two. Left heel spins down to greet the floor, bending into that right knee. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, flip your palms, straighten both legs, looking up as your hands join. And exhale, warrior two, gazing past the right fingers. Inhale, lift. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Right arm reaches high, left hand just kind of falls where it will, or maybe tuck it behind your low back. One more breath in. And out. Bring your hands on up to your blocks or the mat. Spin on that left foot so your toes face the top edge of your mat, and then lower your left knee to the floor. Sinking your hips forward and down just enough. Not too far where your pelvis is kind of tilting or your knees kind of going in or out. Let's try to stay kind of as a unit here. Feel into that left hip area. That's where most likely that stretch could occur today. Puff the chest up a little bit here. If your blocks aren't high enough or you don't have them, maybe bringing your hands to the top of your right knee. When you're ready, let's find our half splits. Pulling the hips back and peeling the right toes up off of the floor. The first time here, just easing in, seeing how much of a bend or straightening of that right knee that you need for just the right amount of sensation. Either hold or flow with it. Inhaling, coming forward, planting your right foot, puffing your chest up. Exhaling to half splits. Keep going a couple more times. Make it your own if it suits you. All right, let's plant that right foot. Curl your left toes under. Pick up your left knee. Now go ahead and step to the top of your mat. Forward fold at the top. Inhale, sliding your hands up to the thighs, halfway lift. Nice, tall, straight spine here. And exhale, fold, bending your knees a little more. Inhale, rise all the way up. Upward salute, joining hands high. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Finding that point of connection again to the heart space. Anahata chakra, heart chakra. The heart chakra here, Anahata chakra, is said to be like a lime green or a pink color. So maybe see if you can kind of hold this visualization of a pink or green or both, kind of a color here, pulsing with your breath at heart center. Just seeing if it suits you. Another tool for connecting inward. Let's take a clearing breath in through the nose and out through your mouth. Blinking your eyes open, let your hands come down by your sides. Give it a little shake if you want. We'll do a little bit of balancing next. So whatever you need to do to prepare for that. If you're on like a thick carpet, maybe coming to a harder surface. Possibly finding a wall or a chair or your couch or something you can use to support yourself a little bit more. We're doing a little play on tree pose. If you want to do classic tree pose, go ahead and just get right into it. Otherwise, let's shift and balance over that right leg. If you want, lifting up your left foot just a little bit, hovering your foot up off of the floor. Keeping it close if you need to step back down. And if you get to a point where that feels too easy, maybe bend your left knee and lifting it a little higher. Option now to open the left knee out toward the left side. Maybe come back in. You could hold on to your knee and just stay lifted here. It's a play on tree pose because we're just balancing on one leg. I kind of like this variation where you hold on to the knee out to the side and you reach that right hand high. Feels like a power pose to me. So go ahead and experiment. It's okay to have that little wobble, just it's our body reminding us that we're challenging ourselves, we're growing. Woo, whenever you've had enough, go ahead and let it all back down. Shake out your standing leg if you want. And then we'll switch sides, balancing on the left foot. Start to maybe lift up your right foot a little bit. Once you're feeling steady, or if you want more, maybe lifting your knee up. Your right knee could come out to the side. Maybe holding on to your knee or something. Now you get to play. Just focusing on balancing on that left foot, that left leg, so you really could have it look any which way you want. There's no wrong moves as long as you are safe and having fun. You'll know when the timing is up. Oh. Go ahead and step on down when that time comes. Shake it out if you want. Then we're heading down to the floor. Go ahead and lower right down to the back. Pull your knees in toward your chest when you get there. Some more free movement, massaging pressure around your low back, the sacrum, the hips, the glutes, whatever kind of angles you can get at. Nice way to do a little self-massage. Right. Yeah, and then bringing your feet down to the floor. Let's bring the arms out wide to a T or a low V-like shape. Let's pick up the pelvis, scoot over toward the left edge of your mat, just with the pelvis setting down. Then allow your knees to start twisting to the right. You don't have to go too far, listening in, being your own best teacher. Letting your body guide you. How much twist feels good. Option to slowly turn your gaze toward the left. Checking in for any over-efforting, using that right amount of effort here too. I don't know why I'm always like gripping my shoulders and my like legs. So it's a good reminder for me. Just softening where you can. Any moment now, starting to switch sides, unwinding here first, and then scooting your pelvis over toward the right edge of your mat, and lowering your knees, twisting on over to the left this time. Possibly lowering or twisting your gaze over to the right. Checking in. Even though I just mentioned it, still need the reminder, soften the shoulders. And starting to make your way back to center. If there are any last poses, movements, or stretches that your body wants, go ahead and move through those now. And then we'll get set up for our final rest. So that could look similar to how we started our class today in Shavasana or constructive rest pose with your knees bent. If you're in your living room, maybe putting your calves up on a chair or a couch can be really nice. And we'll gently close the eyes or just soften the gaze. So here is our practice of being. Not a lot of doing here. Let your body automatically do the breathing for you. Start observing what you can, maybe in your physical body, or maybe some thoughts arise. We'll practice not getting too consumed by those thoughts. We just can practice noticing that a thought has come up. And we can refocus our attention to the rise and fall of your belly or your chest or whatever is moving as you breathe. The flow of air coming in through the nostrils. Creating ease and release through the shoulders and arms. Letting the natural flow of your breath revitalize the spine. Checking in with your legs. Make sure you're not holding yourself up or holding your legs up in any specific way. Just let everything go loose. Noticing when a thought comes in. We definitely have the habit, just collectively as humans, to get involved in that thought and wrapped up in the story and why this and that and the past and the future. But again, that's not a failure on our part. It's great that we've noticed this thought and kindly refocusing onto this moment, the flow of your breath. The relaxation of your body. Unclench your jaw. Please listen to that inner voice, the inner experience here. Notice if you'd like to stay and continue your rest, please do. If and when you're ready to move along, let's slowly start wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe opening and closing your jaw, swallowing, yawning, whatever comes to mind. Oh, continuing to move in ways that feel right, maybe a long body stretch or something else entirely. Eventually rolling onto either side, fetal position with your knees slightly tucked in. Take at least one more full round of breath here, in no hurry to rush along. And using the help of your arms and your hands, press your way up to a comfortable seat. Let's join hands at heart center once more. Om Bolo Shri Satguru Bhagavan Ki Jai. The greatest teacher of them all lies within. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May we have peace in our actions, peace in our words, and peace in our thoughts. Bringing thumbs to third eye center. Let's seal our class in today with a little bow forward in gratitude. Peace. Thank you, everybody.